Park Sports video. Today we're going to be doing Week 9 power rankings. So let's get straight to it. At 32, I am going to have the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals don't really have any firepower on offense. Neither do they have any good players on defense, really. Budda Baker's been all right, but no one has really caught my eyes. Marquise Brown's been okay. But overall, they just have not been a great team. They have fought well in the matches that they've played, but they don't deserve a spot in anywhere but in the 30s. At 31, I'm going to have the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Panthers, they got that one against the Texans this week, but it wasn't too convincing. The offense didn't look great. The defense was okay, but Stroud didn't look great. The Texans offense didn't look great. It was just an ugly game, to be honest with you. And, I mean, that moves them up from 32 to 31 in my books, but they're not going to do anything this year. And then at 30, where are they? We're going to have the Chicago Bears. They haven't played yet this week as I'm recording this. They're about to play, actually. But, I mean, so far, you don't have Fields. You have I'm lying. I am lying. My bad, guys. The Bears played last night. I don't know why I thought the Bears were playing tonight. Now it's the Raiders. Why am I blanking on who the Raiders are playing? It's the Raiders and the Why am I blanking out on who the Raiders are playing? Raiders and the Lions. Sorry. It's Raiders and the Lions, but I'm putting Chicago at 30. They didn't look good against the Chargers, and the Chargers have really bad coaching. Tyson Bagent, he was pretty exciting the first week I watched him. I don't know. I didn't keep up with that game much, but, I saw the final score, and obviously the Bears didn't look like they did that good. So I have the Bears at 30. And then next I'm going to have, these are just coming off the dome, so I haven't really planned any of these. We'll have the Giants at 29. Well, wait, 32, 31. Yeah, 29. We'll have the Giants at 29. The Giants, ugly freaking game, man. You had the chance to take that, to win that game. Gano misses it. You guys win, go to OT. Y'all don't win. The Jets tie it, go to OT, then go down and win, which it sucks. And they just traded away their D-line to the Seahawks. So they're not getting any better. So I'm going to have to put them at 29. At 28, I'm going to have the, let's do the Broncos. They beat the Chiefs. They beat a banged up Chiefs. You had a Patrick Mahomes that was sick with the flu. You say what you want about it. They still didn't look great. They beat the Chiefs. Good for you guys. First time since 2015. Everyone's going to have their bad games. I still don't think the Broncos are anything, though, to be honest with you. That was 29, 28, 27. At 27, we'll have the... there's not really many. 27, we'll have the Packers. The Packers just... Where's the offense? And then the defense is just not great. The defense isn't great. Run defense isn't that good. The offense, Jordan Love has been horrible since those first 1 or 2 weeks. I don't know what to say. Packers just look broken right now. The Jordan Love experiment's a complete fail as of right now. You did re-sign Rashawn Gary, though. I like Gary. I think he's a good defensive player. So, maybe y'all will be better in the future, but as of right now, no. So that was 20, 32, 31, 30, 29, 20, 27. We'll do, so next is 26. At 26, we will have, going through all these, 26, we'll have, I think we'll have the Patriots. I'm not a firm believer in the Patriots. They played okay against the Dolphins this week, but then again, it is a divisional matchup. Their defense looks okay at points, but then looks bad the next moment. The offense isn't great. They're just a mid team that needs to sell. And they honestly, I think they should get rid of Belichick and move him up to a higher role in that team than coach. But I don't think they're going to do that because they extended Belichick, I'm pretty sure. So whatever. At 26 or 25, one of those, we're going to have probably the Commanders. The Commanders played well against the Eagles for most of the game. Kind of fell apart at the end there. Sam Howell threw a pick. Sam Howell was playing good most of that game, though. Sam Howell played well. Sorry, don't mind my dog. Sam Howell played well, though, most of the game. Offense looked good against a pretty good Eagles defense. But, I mean, it's a divisional matchup. I do think that the Commanders, they have potential. I mean, in the coming years, I could see them being a top 15 ranked team, but just not right now. Okay, so next we're going to have the Jets. I mean, just that offense just looks dead. Without the sorry, I don't know why I opened my OBS. The offense just looks dead without Aaron Rodgers. It's just as simple as that. I mean, Zach Wilson's not good. Breece Hall, I love Breece Hall. I love Garrett Wilson. I love the weapons you surround Zach Wilson with, but Zach Wilson is just not a good quarterback. If you add someone a little bit better than Zach Wilson, and you add a more offensive-minded coach, Robert Saleh is a more defensive-minded coach. And I know that because he came from the defensive coordinator role and for Niners, and he was awesome in that role. And, I mean, the defense has played awesome. So the defense is no problem for the Jets as of right now. I think Sauce is having a little more of a down year than he had last year, but still playing well. But it's just that offense for the Jets. And then next we're going to have we'll go to the Raiders. Jimmy G can't stay healthy. Defense is And that's really hard to say for the Raiders. They haven't played it this week. They're playing tonight. Like I said, thought it was the Bears. Not the Bears. Bears played last night. But that's where I'm going to have the Raiders. And then next, probably the Rams. The Rams just look so bipolar this season, to be honest with you. One day you think that they're a top 15 team. The next, they get blown out by the freaking Cowboys. It's just, I don't know how to think of the Rams right now. And then next, we'll have, and this is just because of the news that was just given, or that was just released, the Vikings. I would have them so much higher if Kirk was there. But with the loss of Kirk, I feel like you're just going to see a totally downgraded Vikings offense. And I don't think that Vikings defense can carry them through a lot of the games. So it's really unfortunate that Kirk's going to be out, but it's just football, man. And then next, we're going to have probably the Texans. The Texans, they lost to the Panthers, but everyone has their bad games. And I still think the Texans are a really good team, a really solid team with a really good future. So I'm sticking them here. I don't think they're a bad team at all. I think they're a very middle-of-the-pack team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I wouldn't be shocked if they sneak into a wild card team at 9-8. And then next, we're going to have the Titans. They look good. Will Levis looked good. D-Hop had like 4 or 5 catches for just a freaking ton of yards and like 3 touchdowns. So that was good. I think you're going to run with Will Levis for the rest of the season. If I'm the Titans, he looked way better than Tannehill did all year. But, I mean, if you run with Will Levis, similarly to the Titans, I think you could see a Titan, similarly to the Texans, sorry. I think you could see the Titans going 8-9, 9-8 with Will Levis. And then next, we're going to have the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just that offense, man. You got to get Matt Canada out of there. Like, seriously, Matt Canada's not a good offensive coordinator. You lost Kenny Pickett. Now you have Mitch Trubisky coming in. Mitch Trubisky is not a good quarterback. I don't care what anyone says. Mitch Trubisky has not been a good quarterback for the Steelers and is not a good quarterback for the Steelers. You have decent weapons with Deontay, with George Pickens, with Najee. It's just you can't execute, and you have to blame that on your offensive executor, or not executor, but offensive play caller, because your offensive executor is sometimes making the plays that will save the team. Like the other week, Kenny Pickett, there was a thing where he called an audible to get that game-winning touchdown against I forget who, but Matt Canada didn't call that play, and Kenny Pickett saved it. So it's just getting that OC out of there, to be honest with you. And once that offense is fixed, the Steelers can easily go into an A or S tier, to be honest with you. Then you got the Colts. The Colts, 39 and 38, I think, put up on you back-to-back weeks. Kind of crazy. I don't know. They're just a mid team, to be honest with you. A lot of these are just mid teams that I'm listing off right now. Next, we're gonna have the Saints. Like I said, another mid team. They're not very good. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they make the playoffs, maybe by a slim chance. Next, you got the Buccaneers. Buccaneers have a solid defense, somewhat solid offense. I'm worried with Baker's ability to throw it downfield to Evans and those type of guys. But they look okay. They don't look horrible. They just don't look good enough to make a run in the playoffs at all. Next, we're going to have the Falcons. The Falcons, they looked this week. They didn't look great, to be honest with you. They really didn't. Who'd they play again? Who'd they play? And they lost. They lost to this team. Or did they win? Did they lose? I don't really know. But whatever. But that's besides the point. The Falcons don't look like a super, super good team. I don't like Ritter. Heineke came in. I don't know if he did much better than Ritter. But Falcons are just eh. I could see them making the playoffs, though. And then next, we're going to have the Chargers. It's just coaching. Great superstar team. Bad coaching. And then after that, we're going to have we'll do the Browns. Browns, solid team. No Deshaun Watson, though. Deshaun Watson has looked good, though. PJ Walker didn't look great. 2 interceptions. Threw for a decent amount of yards against the Seahawks, though. That offense just looks eh. And the defense looks good. But definitely not a Super Bowl contender at all. And then next, you got the Buffalo Bills. I mean, the Bills just kind of look broken, too. They beat the Buccaneers, but that doesn't really say much. I mean, it was the way I guess at the end of the day, wins are wins, but they didn't look super good still. The offense is still a little concerning. Josh Allen's still a little concerning. The defense is banged up a little, but still playing okay. So, oh, crap. Glad that did not get totally removed, but I mean, the Bills are just eh. I mean, they're good, but they got to prove it to me that they're still the elite team that I thought they were at the beginning of the season. And then next, we're going to have all these are good teams. All of these are pretty darn good teams. We'll do the Cowboys. Cowboys next. I'm a little lower on the Cowboys than some people are. I feel like they beat all the bad teams, but then get smoked when it comes to the good teams. And I feel like you got to have a team that's going to compete with the good teams and beat the bad teams to be a really good team, in my opinion. And that's where I'm gonna put the Dolphins next. The Dolphins, they competed with arguably the best team in the league, the Eagles. They have a good offense, solid defense. Jalen Ramsey came back, got a pick. I saw that. So the Dolphins look pretty good, and I mean, I could easily see them making a playoff, getting in the playoffs. Next, I'm gonna have the Lions. They haven't played yet this week. They play tonight, but I'm sure they'll take care of business against the Raiders. And I mean, they're a good team. They got blown out by the Ravens last week, but you got to put that in a review. Everyone has their bad games, like I said. And then next, I'm going to have the 49ers. What is happening with this team? 3 straight losses. Purdy looked okay in this game, better than the other 2 games. But the whole team still just has not looked good. The defense has not looked insanely good. Didn't look good against the Bengals, at least. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening to the 49ers. They're just falling apart. And now, this is hard. We'll go to Seahawks next. Seahawks have looked good. That defense has meshed well together since the first 1 or 2 weeks when their defense didn't look too well. The defense is now the sole point of this team, and they got Leonard Williams in the trade from the Giants, which I think is a great deal. Little much for Leonard Williams, but it's a good deal in my opinion for the Seahawks because they're beefing up what is already a pretty good defense. Geno's looked has looked too good. Threw some picks, some unneeded interceptions in the red zone. Red zone struggles are still a thing for the Seahawks, but if they can fix that, like the old Seahawks offense from earlier this season and last season, then they're one of the best teams in the league. And then right after the Seahawks, we're going to have the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars have just been a great team. Trevor Lawrence has been good. Etienne's been great. Defense has been good. Josh Allen on the defense has been great. The receivers have been pretty good. Ridley didn't have that many catches last game and the game before that. But, I mean, everyone's still producing on that team, which is great. It's a really good, strong overall team, which I really like from the Jaguars. And then next, this one's tough. I'm going to put the Bengals at 4. The Bengals looked great against the 49ers. And, I mean, I don't know if that's good or if that's bad. I mean, it's obviously good, but how good is it? Considering we don't know how bad the 49ers are now. They could be the worst team in the league now. It's just the way they're playing. But Joe Burrow looked great. Offense looked great. Defense looked okay against the 49ers. They looked serviceable. So I think they're back to that elite role as the Bengals. And then at 3, we're going to have the Chiefs. They lost to the Broncos. Not knocking them down too much for that because obviously they said Mahomes has his sickness or whatever. But we'll see what they do next week. And if they keep losing games like this, then I'm going to start knocking them down more. 2, we got the Ravens. Ravens, they look awesome. They didn't beat the Cardinals how I thought they'd beat them. I thought they'd blow out the Cardinals. Did not. But then again, the Cardinals stay within range of all the teams they play, which is something I really like about the Cardinals. They're a perfect tank team. They stay in range with all the teams that they're playing. They don't really get blown out too much, but they're just bad. But the Ravens are great. Lamar's looked great. The whole team's looked great. The defense looked great. Offense, great. It's all great from the Ravens right now. And then at 1, obviously you got the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles, I mean, pulled off a close win against the Commanders, but at the end of the day, the better team wins in football. And this was just a perfect case of that. The Eagles are amazing. Offense looked great. A.J. Brown is on another planet with that catch. A.J. Brown is easily a top 10 receiver, maybe even top 5 right now. Probably top 5, to be honest with you. A.J. Brown's been great. And, I mean, the Eagles are just a great team. And so, yeah, guys, this is my power rankings. I know it wasn't perfect. I know I was stuttering a lot. But, I mean, that's my power rankings, guys. Sorry if this isn't the best quality video. Sorry if it's not the best, quality video, I guess. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll be uploading again soon, hopefully. So, have a good day, guys. Out the Park Sports, signing off. Peace out, y'all.